What's up, everyone? Welcome to the episode 5 recap of The Amazing Race season 24. Batu Caves is the start of the 5th leg, where we see Jen and Cord depart first at 2:46 p.m., where we find out teams are now heading to Colombo, Sri Lanka. Damn, the 20s must be pissed watching this episode. Dave and Connor take off at 3:13. Leo and Jamal decide to go straight to the airport instead of a travel agency, but it is 90 kilometers away, so they are taking quite a gamble. Everyone except for Brendon and Rachel and Margie and Luke are on the same flight to Sri Lanka. Brendon and Rachel decided to take the connecting flight option because the direct flight was full, while Margie and Luke decided to go on standby instead of the connecting flight, and it ends up being a huge mistake as they didn't get on and had to take the next flight in the morning. Brendon and Rachel freaking made the connecting flight. Amazing. They arrive at the temple first, but it doesn't open till 5:45 a.m. The rest of the teams, minus Margie and Luke, arrive at the temple. At the temple, each racer received a blessing and then got their next clue, which is a detour. In fishing pole, teams have to climb onto a fishing still and have to catch 2 fish. In spin control, they have to learn and perform a traditional folk dance while spinning some plate-like instruments. Dave and Connor were the first to complete the detour. They did the fishing pole challenge, which looked a lot easier than the traditional folk dance, but the Globetrotters finished that task shortly after Dave and Connor took off. Leo and Jamal are in third, followed by the Cowboys and the Country Singers. Margie and Luke's flight finally arrived, but it's still not looking good for them. Brendon and Rachel completed the spin control, and then Jessica and John decided to switch from the fishing pole task to the spin control task, which ended up being a smart move. Teams arrive at the roadblock where they have to sew a shirt together. It's not just 2 sides, it's the collar and the sleeves as well. Back to Jessica and John, I really dislike John from his last season because of what he said when he got eliminated, but I'm changing my mind this season, and it looks like Jessica and John are having a good time together, and you know what, that's all that matters for a couple that's about to get married. Anyway, Brendon and Rachel get to their speed bump, and they just have to paint the final color on a shirt, but they have to do 15 shirts. Needless to say, they did it pretty quick, and they were off to the roadblock. Dave and Connor finished the roadblock first, followed by the Country Singers, and they are now headed to the Colombo Rowing Club, which is the pit stop for this leg of the race. So, who is taking first? Is it Dave and Connor or the Country Singers? Dave and Connor and the Country Singers finished second. What a shocker, the Cowboys did not finish in the top 2. They do finish third though. Leo and Jamal finished fourth, followed by Jessica and John. Brendon finally finished, which left Big Easy and Flight Time the only team left sewing. But Big Easy finished up shortly after. Brendon and Rachel decided to take those small taxis while the Globetrotters took the bus. And even though it doesn't make a huge difference because we are talking about probably a 5-minute difference, the Globetrotters actually got to the pit stop before Brendon and Rachel, so they finished 6th and Brenchel finished 7th. They didn't even bother showing Margie and Luke complete the detour or the roadblock, and obviously they have been eliminated. On next week's episode, John almost gets hit by one of those tiny taxis, and Rachel too, except she causes a fit. Who will be eliminated next? Find out next week. That wraps up the episode 5 recap of The Amazing Race season 24. If you liked my recap, make sure to click the thumbs up below. If you have something to say, let me know by commenting below. And lastly, don't forget to subscribe.